Well, hi, babies. Hi, sweeties. Hi, cutes. Hi, darlings. Hi. I hope this video finds you well. This is a general message, so take what resonates, leave the rest. Whenever you find it, it is the right time because it is timeless. Please use your own discernment and intuition. I will never reach out to you for personal readings because I'm not doing them. And I would not do that anyway. I wouldn't be like, beloved, I have an important message for you. Here's my phone number or whatever. Like, not me. Yeah. All right. Okay, babes. I just wanted to show off my Christmas, my little Christmas cactus. It's really happy right now. It's popping. It's blooming. I kind of want to just get it closer because, like, I'm super proud of this damn thing. Look at that. Look at that. I'm proud of it. All right. Let's get into it, you know? I had no plan of this reading at all. I suddenly got the vibe that I'm going to get a love message, but we'll see what's up. I don't know. Oh, I was blowing out with the air hose all the dust out of the machines yesterday at my job, and I was like, I even thought, like, while I was doing it, I was like, I should probably do like a sinus rinse after this. And I forgot, and now I'm paying for it because my face was all swollen. I was like full of boogers and my voice is all messed up this morning. So yeah, I inhaled a lot of dust yesterday. All right, babies, tell us what it is, what it do, what that mouth do. Okay. We have the dilettante. And someone can correct me if I'm mispronouncing that. I don't know. But it did come out in reverse. So the shadow attribute is pretension to much deeper knowledge than you actually possess. Vampire in reverse. Shadow attributes: depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. So immediately what I'm getting from that is you may have felt you're being drained, or you may have also been doing the draining. I'm getting with that dilettante is in order to get back to this balanced state where you're not out of alignment is through creativity. Oh, okay. So yeah, if you're like having issues, let's say, you know, because everybody, there's always some weirdo constantly agreeing to this in the comments. I'm single. I'm forever single. Like, do you want that, or do you want somebody to pity you? Like, why are you saying that? Because all you're doing is agreeing to being single and pushing everybody away. Just had to say that because you need to hear it. Yeah, the people in the comments that are like, I'm forever single, nobody for me, blah, blah, blah. Like, are you, like, the energy's there and we all see it. The only one that's not seeing it is you, and you're just continuing to agree to that. But, continuing to agree to that. But what I'm getting here, say if you're in connection, or this is your future energy, and you're in connection and with your partner and all of that. Let's say they're getting agitated, you're getting agitated, there's these constantly fighting, you're feeling like your energy is being drained by them, and you're like, fuck, I'm back in it with the narcissist, like all of this stuff. Like, I'm not getting that. What I'm getting is it feels like you're being drained. That person might actually be draining your energy, but it's not an intentional, like a narcissist would. They're doing it because they're not feeding their soul through creativity and doing more knowledge and all of that. So it's like, I'm getting, it's like there's this like you're meant for each other. Like, you are definitely like you can still be with a soulmate, and you know, you choose not to be with them. Like, you don't have to, no one's fucking making you do shit. So before you get all like worried, like, oh my god, it's gonna be hard or whatever, you don't have to agree to it. You don't have to keep fighting through it. There's always something else. Like, if you choose that, if you want that, then that's what will happen. There's always another option. There's always something else. Like, you don't have to agree to something if you're not liking it and you're like, oh, I asked for this. Oh shit, I don't like it. Like, you don't have to continue that. You can thank the universe, God, whatever, for that situation and then move on. But what I'm getting here is, like, if y'all are fighting and all of that stuff and it feels like you're being manipulated or drained or something like that, that person might actually be doing that, or you might be doing that. But what needs to be, it's like there's a part of y'all's selves, like each other's, it might just be both of you at the same time, but it's like both of you aren't feeding the part that you need to feed. By looking at this dilettante, that's telling me, like, doing art, research, something that really feeds your soul, something creative that needs to be fed. And we did have the student card that came out, and that is, it fell up upright, so we got a good one. Humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. So fuck, okay, so both of you are like really intelligent, really well read, or you do a lot of research, or you've lived a lot of life, had a lot of experiences, and you've learned from them. So you're very strong in your beliefs, and you've found confidence in those situations and overcoming the shit that you have. However, you need to remind yourself that this is a different experience, and the things that you have, or the things that you've learned, may not be everything that exists out there. There is infinite knowledge and infinite experiences to be had, and you haven't lived them all, and you have to humble yourself, and knowing that maybe you don't have all the answers into this situation that you're experiencing. You might be pointing the fingers at your partner or vice versa. And I really hope it's like whoever finds this before they get into union and like just can completely avoid this, or like solve it before it becomes an issue, is like becoming humble, learning to that you haven't met everybody, you haven't met every single experience, all of that. I will be on, my left foot just started hurting, and so I'm gonna look that up because I feel like that's something to do with your mother or whatever. Okay, left foot. All right, what do we got here? Yeah, I'm all jacked up. I was like blowing these boogers out that had like so much, like it was literally the dust that I was blowing off. I could see it was like green. Because I know you wanted to know about my boogers, right? The left foot is often associated with the inner world, feminine principles, intuition, and the past. It can represent a connection to self, emotional, and creative energies. Bitch, what the fuck I say? What the fuck I say? The fuck I say? Creative. Getting creative. And the ability to receive and surrender. While the right foot is typically linked to the outer world, the masculine principle, and action. Different cultures also, blah, blah, blah. Okay, such as itchy foot, left foot predicting travel or changes. Okay. That's not really what we're looking into. Okay. Inner and feminine self. The left side is frequently seen as representing the feminine principle, a connection to one's inner self, emotions, creativity, and intuition. The past. Some interpretations associate the left foot with the past of a relationship or a relationship with what has already been, which that, what I fucking say, tying into that shit. Energy and spiritual growth. The left foot is thought to store vital energy for moral and spiritual growth. It is seen as a point of connection for energy flow between the self and the earth. Yo, bitch, I just said all that shit, okay? So, you've experienced a lot of things. And what I'm getting at here, ultimately, we have Dawn 1 in reverse. Using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So I'm kind of getting, it's like you think that this is somebody doing this. And maybe there had been like what you would consider a red flag. Like, let's say you get in a fight or they do something they fucked up and they come back and they're like, you know, giving compliments and trying to make you feel better and all of this stuff. And you're like, that's a red flag. Like, you're love bombing me. Like, but what it was they were just trying to make the energy better. So because you've experienced all this awful stuff, and the dark stuff and the awful things that happen to you are always going to be louder than the good things, right? It's just part of it because there's such a stronger emotion attached to that. And what I'm getting with both of you is both of you are experiencing the same exact thing within this connection. Is you're seeing like, oh, this person's taking my energy. Oh, but you haven't lived it all. This is a whole ass new experience. Even if there are similarities to things in the past, you haven't experienced this fully throughout in this exact moment just yet. Like, be open to that. There's gonna be conflict with another person because you both have free will. You both have different experiences. Let's say you even grew up around each other and had your families were friends, all of that stuff, and you decided to get together later in life, like when you're 40 or something. You still had a different experience than them. Even if you had the same job, you went to the same school, all of that, you still had a different experience than them, and vice versa. So, getting into this student energy, you don't know it all, nor does this person. And there needs to be this constant, with that dilettante of like letting in that you know something deeper than what you, let me read it so I'm not fucking this up. Pretension to much deeper knowledge than what you actually possess. So both of y'all need to sit your asses down. Imagine me as a couples therapist. You sit the fuck down. You sit the fuck down. Both of y'all need to take a seat and recognize that you don't know everything. Yes, both of you are extremely intelligent, spiritually awakened, very knowledgeable. You've lived a lot of life. You've done a lot of research. All of that stuff. You've experienced a lot of things. Yes. However, you don't know it all. And you're not knowing it all. You're not living the same exact experiences that you've lived in the past. Both of you need to recognize this. And there's part of both of y'all's shadows that are coming into play in this connection. Yeah, like, you might do the same exact thing that this person does, but you have a different intent towards it. So you're thinking they're doing the same fucking thing, or vice versa, you know? Like, let's say they accuse you of like, oh, you're just playing a fucking power game on me, or whatever it is, and you're just trying to control me. And you genuinely weren't. But they do that shit, so they're thinking you do that shit, and you were moving differently. So with both of your free wills, both of your completely different experiences, there has to be this understanding. If you really want to make this work, or you just want to, give this back to God and move on to the next thing, just know that if you're out here praying for a connection to make you grow and somebody that is willing to grow, it's going to be difficult because it's going to have that ugly feeling of growth and healing. Healing isn't pretty at all. It's fucking ugly. My favorite analogy for this is just go for fun and look up like what plastic surgery looks like as it's healing, and the initial like straight after surgery, throughout the healing process, all of that stuff. It looks ugly. And then just like one day it's like the person's facelift and they look beautiful. That's what healing is. It's ugly, it's painful. You're like, man, I don't know if I'm even gonna look good after this with my facelift. Like, what the hell? Like, this is horrible. I look like a monster. And then they come out after this awful, ugly healing process, and they're like completely beautiful and lifted, and they got the result they wanted. That's what's happening internally too, with all this yucky stuff and all this mommy problems, daddy problems, all of that. In the Kabbalah, one interpretation, the left leg corresponds to the Sephirah of Hod, which relates to submitting to truth and receiving from a master. AKA dilettante, you don't know it all. They don't know it all. Yes, you're very spiritual. Yes, you know a lot of things. Maybe you need to fucking have it put in your face with this person and vice versa, that you're draining their energy because you're not feeding your creative side. You're not feeding these things that you need within yourself. And so you're pulling on this person's energy, wanting their attention, wanting them to do something, needing to feel in control or whatever it is. And you don't know it. Like, you have all the best intentions in the world, but you don't realize that this is a part of you. This is an ugly truth about you. Submitting to truth and receiving from a master. Maybe if you've prayed for this divine connection, this healing connection, somebody that's willing to do the work and wanting to do the work and going to help you grow, and vice versa, you're going to have to submit to some truths. They're going to have to submit to some truths. And man, I'm just getting, it's like really difficult because with that addict card at the bottom of the deck, helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. That might be you're a control freak. That might be that you use your romantic and you know how to make people butter people up and make them feel good. And you might use that sometimes for dark reasons, not savory reasons. And that might be just a way you've learned to exist and survive in this world. This person, and you for this person, is going to show you these things that are not good and love you still during this. Hell, this reading might just be for you to fucking manifest and a real thing, like help you with your manifestation. Helps you recognize and confront addictive behaviors, like pushing back. Like, you might just like to be that chaotic. You might like to feel and be in that chaotic, like, emotional storm, and you want to pull people into that when you're feeling really intense. And there's nothing that's good that you want to feel the emotions, and you've really moved through a lot of shit with that, but there's other ways to do it. And this might be a self-sabotaging behavior. Like, you have gotten very far and you've grown very much spiritually through experiencing all these intense emotions and like just spiraling in it and feeling it all and understanding it and living in that yuckiness. But this may no longer serve you anymore. And this person, like, maybe you pulled this person into this crazy ass wave of shit, and they're like, what the fuck? This ain't working, bud. And you're like, well, this has worked my whole entire life. Like, this is how I heal, whatever it is. Maybe this doesn't work for you. Maybe you're at that point that this isn't serving you anymore. That's an exploration and humbling yourself to realize, like, maybe this worked for me in survival mode, but now I'm not in survival mode, so I need to figure out a new way to deal with this. Man, I'm just looking at this card. I didn't even, like, pay attention to it. Child magical. I'm just looking at the fairy card on it because I had a crazy ass fucking dream last night. Seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. You want to make this fucking relationship work? It feels like shit right now because you're healing and seeing the beauty in that yucky healing. And this person's rocking with you. Or you, that person, and reminding them, and you reminding yourself of that. Because I'm looking, I had this fucking dream last night that, I don't know, maybe this is relevant to share with you, but there was a serial killer out on the loose, and they were in the town I was in. And I was like at this event that there was like this crazy ass parade, and the serial killer was there. They were spotted. And so we're like, oh fuck, we gotta get out, like they're on a rampage, you know, whatever. And I was just like trying to stay like hidden in the crowd. But my friend, who knowing what I feel about her and what she was in the dream, she was like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna be in the parade, like I'll be out here, like all of that. But my mom in the dream, you know, it's those chaotic ass dreams where everybody's just popping up like, oh, you've been here the whole time? Probably not, but okay. You're here now. My mom in the dream was like, we gotta go, like we need to go to the store and we gotta get this shit done real quick. And I'm like, okay, like, so the store is necessarily like, why, when we're supposed to be getting away from this like serial killer? Like, okay. And I put I wanted to steal this perfume, so I put it in my mom's purse. And so we like went our separate ways because we were supposed to go like stay in a hotel or something. We just like went our separate ways, and she like went with her stepdad, my stepdad, you know, her husband. And I'm like calling her, I'm like, yo, so this like serial killer's on the loose, like you gonna come to this hotel or what? Like, are we meeting up? And they were like, oh, we're busy. And so I'm like, okay. But in the dream, at this point, I'm on the phone with my mom. I see this fucking crazy ass thing like come out of the ground, and like I could still see it in my mind's eye. Like it was so vivid, and it was like apparently necessary. It was like this dragonfly grasshopper crossover thing, but it was like in the dream I knew it was a fairy. Like I knew it was a fucking fairy. Like it came out of the moss. I was like scared at first because I was like, what the fuck is that? But then I was like, oh shit, that's a fairy. I'm like on the phone like, mom, I gotta take a picture of this, hold up. And I like, take a picture. Ultimately, what I'm getting at, there's people around you that like I'm working through like healing my mother wound. My mom did the best she could. She's got her own bullshit, and I just have to accept that and heal the parts of myself that were wounded and abandoned and hurt in that, and recognize that it's okay how I'm living my life and I don't need to get her approval. Because my friend in the dream, she was living so fearlessly, and I was like, oh my god, there's a fucking serial killer out here, like, and she's like in the parade like, look at me, I'm not fearful. And I allowed the trickle down effect of like my family. They're very anxious, fearful people, paranoid, they don't share, they're not very generous because they have that, like, we gotta cling on to this money shit, like, type of thing. Like, because my family is like old farmers and generations of that. So there's that, like, way going back in the fucking pioneer days, like that type of shit. There were hard ass fucking times, right? Because my family homesteaded in New Mexico. And so there's these wounds that I'm working through of, like, lack, because, like, people have starved to death. People have went through really hard times and they had to hold on and cling to every fucking penny that they had. But they don't share, and they're not generous, and they're not, even in their life right now where they have plenty of money and they're healthy and they have good things, they still think they're in this lack and live in that lack. So there's these insecurities. And I'm working through all this shit. Just, and this is what the dream is showing me, is there's magic. There's an ability to still be in this world. Because, like, I'm trying to create a relationship with my mother. And I want that. And she wants it now. And it's great. And I'm thankful for it. But there's magic because she's still stuck in that mentality. She's still there. I can still be in that world, but also live in my world where magic happens and there's abundance and stuff like that. So you can have that. Like, you're going to be experiencing some crazy ass shit, like, through this growing process. I don't know why the fuck I felt the need maybe that dream is going to help somebody, like, if they're going through the same shit I'm going through, and I'm fucking figuring it out. Like, we're all just trying to figure it out. That fairy dream, like, was wild. So there's still an opportunity. Like, let's say this person that you're with is very, like, they have some lack stuff and they're not where you're at, or vice versa. Maybe they're more abundance based and they're living in that magic and stuff like that. You don't have to cut them off just because they're living in that. Like, you can be the guide. You don't have to let in their worries and their fears, because that happens. Being around somebody that much and not putting that guard up around certain things and, like, holding your own space, your own energy, you absorb that shit, that fear, that lack mentality, the insecurities. A big one for me is that I've healed and healing is needing to please people and be the fastest and be the best and be seen it that way. But I end up just running myself ragged, hurting myself, and then I don't even get the result I wanted and the praise I wanted, and that little, I want the spotlight on me. That doesn't happen because I'm so desperate for that. I'm worthy. That's that self-worth shit. But I'm working on that, but there are people around me that are still caught up in that shit. I'm around them all the time. And I'm working on not letting, because I slip and I get lost in it sometimes. And I'm like, whoa, I need to pull myself out. I feel that drain of energy. Going back to that vampire, I love how this, like, has all, like, cycled back through that. Depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. Feeling drained. What is draining you? And if you are drained, how can you call back your energy and you only revamp your energy? And that's through creativity, feeding your soul, doing things you love, self-care. That could be, self-care is sometimes getting your ass up and cleaning your fucking vehicle because you haven't cleaned it in a while. Sometimes that's a thing. And then you don't have the energy to do it, but then you do it and you're like, oh my God, I feel so much better. I didn't even know that was, like, a thing. Sometimes self-care isn't like, let's go get our toes done, bitch. Like, sometimes it's not that. And sometimes it's actually getting shit done that you have. Like, let's say you have this horribly long to-do list and you don't do it. I am very guilty of this. And then it's weighing on you. And you're like, fuck, I need to get that done. Fuck, I need to get that done. Fuck, I need to get that done. And like, let's say you're avoiding something because you know it's going to be a shit show. I had this conversation with somebody, and I'm very guilty of this. It's like, nothing's ever like, and this, okay, before I say this, I'm going to preface this is like, just because I don't want to put this on you or anybody else or myself. You have these past experiences, like let's say working on a vehicle, right? And you go to put a part in, and it's supposed to be a 45-minute job. It turns into a 6-hour job, right? And so you've had these experiences. So you put this thing off. You're like, fuck, I gotta change my oil on my car. But every time that like you have this experience, but you're also agreeing to it. And I had this talk with somebody else because they have the same thing. They're like, oh my God, I put it off because it's been such a shit show every time that I do something. But you don't have to agree to that. You can just take it as an isolated event and be like, okay, the next time it's going to be something easy. And remind yourself that it's not always going to be like that. And what you're agreeing to is you don't have to agree to that. Oh, it's a shit show every time. Oh, it's going to be, it's supposed to be a quick job, but it takes, 2 days instead or whatever it is. You don't have to agree to that, and check yourself that you have been agreeing to that. Take it as an isolated event. The next time will be better. Keep that seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief in everything is possible. You don't have to agree to this. Student, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. You don't know it all. You haven't experienced it all. The reason things keep being shitty and uncomfortable is, for one, you're agreeing to that, and you're not seeing the beauty in certain situations. Growth is going to be ugly no matter what the fuck you do, no matter what. So surgery is going to be awkward, and the healing part is going to be uncomfortable, whatever. Your body has its processes. You have your processes. And sometimes if something is so deeply embedded within you, like a wound or, some sort of belief or whatever, it's going to be painful as fuck to pull that bitch out. You might have to go back for more and revise and re-excise and take all of these things out. It might be a shit job on this one, but there's other things that you don't have to agree to. You could just straight believe that the next time that you undo some sort of thought process, belief, or whatever, it's just going to be like, oh shit, I don't want to be that anymore. Okay, bye. So that's all tying in. I like these readings. They give me satisfaction. All right, I'm going to throw some tarot on this, and I guess we'll... Man, I'm so fucking proud of this Christmas cactus. Like, it was looking... I had it in, like, extreme sun, so it's, like, colored all weird, and I was like, oh, man, I wonder if it's gonna... Because it's turned purple, because I had to... Like, there's just too much fucking sun on this bitch. But I'm glad it still flowered, because I didn't think it was going to. All right, we have Fortitude. That's the strength card in this deck in reverse. The Grail. And the Two of Discs in reverse. So the strength card in reverse, Two of Discs in reverse, and the Grail upright. A reminder to you, and maybe you can remind yourself and, whoever you're dealing with, this partner or whatever, there is a deep well of knowledge when it comes to being vulnerable, being seen as weak, or these yucky parts of yourself come out. Because I'm seeing this strength card in reverse as people seeing like your weaknesses, your shadows, your issues, your um, self-limiting beliefs, your shadow side, your self-sabotaging behaviors, your addictions, all of that. Willing, for one, standing strong in that and just letting it be what it is like, yeah, I'm an ugly human. I'm a dirty human. I'm a messy human. But I'm also a beautiful human. I'm a beautiful soul. I am limitless energy, limitless love. I am a soul. I am of the stars. Reminding that there's those two things exist at the same time within you. You're a greasy little human, okay? We're like the slimiest creatures. Straight up. And it's okay that you are. You are also a beautiful soul of the stars, of pure source, of light, of God. And that is this deep well of knowledge, this deep, beautiful knowledge that is sacred. And it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to drop beliefs and let go of certain survival techniques, because you're constantly evolving, you're constantly messy, you're constantly changing. You're a good reminder is like, bro, you have cells within you that die all the time and regenerate. You are constantly going through death and rebirth, death and rebirth, death and rebirth. Death is ugly, a dark truth. It's sad, it's stinky, it's gross, it's all of these things, but it's also beautiful. And finding that realization of, yes, you are still lovable despite these ugly things. And that's what makes you even better. It's like you're no better than anybody else. And your partner is no better than anybody else. You are just two souls working together to undo all of this 3D heavy stuff within our human self. It's okay to drop these things with that Two of Pentacles in reverse, the two discs in reverse. It's okay to drop this stuff. I'm getting a lot of it is like you have these really strong, these techniques that you have gained and behaviors have really helped you survive this whole entire time up until now. And it's really served you like greatly. You've seen results. You're like, why the fuck should I let this go? But now you're facing a part where it's no longer serving you. And it's okay to let this go. You will be even stronger and better as soon as you let this go. This has been a limiting thing. It has helped you survive. It has helped you grow, but now it's no longer serving you. In fact, it's inhibiting. I'm looking at the anchor on this card. It's holding you down where you need to go, where you need, instead of allowing you to go and move quickly, because there's that arrow, that the arrow flies, the arrow goes straight, the arrow moves through the air quickly. That anchor is holding you down somewhere where it's no longer serving you. If you're a captain of a ship and you have, fleet or whatever you're taking from port to port, you gotta pull that fucking anchor up and go. You're not gonna get the money or the rewards or whatever it is if you just sit out on the sea and let, your fish that you caught rot. You got to take it to port, you got to sell it, you got to make the money, and then you got to go back out. It's a constant process, a constant cycle. You can't stay stuck in this. You're going to feel the results of staying stuck and stagnant in this. Anything else? The scales. And the Emperor in reverse. Recognizing that you are not... Some things might feel out of balance, but ultimately things are always balanced out. No matter what you do. Let's say you feel that you've overdone some work or something in a connection, or you put too much energy into something. It's always going to balance out. And it is not your job to grab, like the Emperor in reverse is like grabbing over power that's like not theirs. It's like going to, oh my God, I've experienced this. I would say who it is, but I'll just keep them quiet. But I've been around a person that does this regularly. They'll go to a grocery store and start managing the people that are working there, and that person is not working there. I'm just like, oh my God. Like restaurants, everything. They feel the need because they feel so out of control in their life and whatever, that they need constant control over everything around them. And it's very difficult to be around this person because you're like, why do you think you were entitled to this? Like, where did things shift? What path did you take that you feel you're entitled to boss somebody around that you have no authority over? So recognizing that it's not your job to balance the scales. That's the Most High, the universe, source, great spirit. It's just you to put out, live with love, give what you can give, and then a little more, and be happy that you have that ability. And recognize that that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to give love. We're meant to give and be loved. The thing I'm getting here is like, you've experienced such shitty relationships where people have taken your energy to a point that you went completely 180, and so now you don't give it all because you're like, well, I don't want my energy to be ripped away from me again, and I don't want to get abused and stuff like that. However, that's keeping that energy stuck. That's that anchor. You're not allowing the energy to flow. You're not giving it back out. And then, so in you not giving that energy back, then you become the vampire of, you're like, well, I want people to give to me because I have great energy and I'm generous. But you're taking the authority of what that universal balance is. That's not your job. Your job is to give and be generous and know that it'll come back to you eventually, however that looks, and be open to how that comes back to you. It's not your job to sit there. You're not running the scales. The universe is. And same for this person that you're dealing with, or whatever, the people around you, that they don't have that authority. Your job is to simply give and be happy to give and keep that energy flowing and know that it'll come back to you. I'm going to end it there. I love you, babes. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this reading because I enjoyed it, and I love being here with you. I love your energy, and I love all your little comments, and you're so cute and funny. And thank you again for being here. Okay, babes? I love you. Bye.